The evening started like any other, but the silence was heavier than usual. The house was neat, the lights soft, the air strangely still. Vanessa carried 2 plates to the dining table, her movements practiced but stiff. She set them down, one in front of Adam, one across for herself. No flowers, no candles, no effort at warmth, just plain food, 2 glasses of water, and a wall of tension between them. Adam sat with the stillness of a man who had learned long ago not to react too quickly. He cut his food, chewed slowly, his gaze distant yet strangely anchored. He didn't ask how her day was. He didn't fill the silence. He simply existed, steady and composed, as if nothing could disturb him. Vanessa, on the other hand, could barely sit still. She poked at her plate, hardly eating, her eyes darting toward him and away again. Inside her chest, her heart raced. She had rehearsed this moment for weeks. In the mirror, in her car, even whispering to herself while folding laundry. In her mind, she always pictured Adam breaking down, shocked, angry, maybe even begging her not to leave. But when the time finally came, the moment was nothing like she imagined. With a sharp exhale, she dropped her fork onto her plate. The clatter rang out in the quiet room, jolting the air like a gunshot. Her voice followed, cold and deliberate. "I want a divorce." The words hung there, sharp and undeniable. She stared at him, waiting for a crack in his calm, waiting for his mask to fall. But Adam only lifted his eyes. He looked at her as though he had seen this coming for years. Then, with a calmness that made her blood run cold, he said, "Good thing we signed the prenuptial agreement." Her stomach dropped. That wasn't the reaction she expected. No anger, no heartbreak, just quiet certainty. And in that moment, Vanessa realized the script she had written in her head no longer mattered. Adam wasn't playing her game. The next morning, Vanessa tried to brush it off, telling herself Adam was bluffing. But his composure gnawed at her. He wasn't panicking. He wasn't scrambling. He was in control. That terrified her more than any outburst could have. Days passed, and Adam's silence became its own kind of weapon. He carried on with life as though nothing had changed. He went to work. He prepared his coffee. He read in the evenings with the same measured calm. He didn't confront her. He didn't argue. He simply waited. But Vanessa couldn't wait. Her unease grew until it erupted one night. She stood in the kitchen, arms crossed, throwing sharp words like knives. She accused him of being cold, heartless, unfeeling. She wanted to provoke him, to see him unravel. But Adam didn't rise to her bait. Instead, he quietly pulled a folder from a drawer. With slow precision, he placed it on the table in front of her. It was a copy of the prenuptial agreement. The paper landed softly, but its weight was crushing. Vanessa's eyes scanned the clauses, ones she had once skimmed and laughed about, never imagining they'd matter. Complete separation of assets, no spousal support, exclusive ownership of premarital properties. Every line was like a door slamming shut. Vanessa's throat tightened. She tried to sound confident, mocking. "You think this protects you? I'll find a way around it." But Adam only leaned back, his voice steady as stone. "I've already sent everything to Diane Mitchell." The name hit her like a punch. Diane, Adam's lawyer, ruthless, feared, undefeated. Vanessa had heard the stories. Courtrooms left silent after Diane was finished, opponents walking out with nothing. For the first time, Vanessa's mask cracked. Adam didn't shout, didn't gloat. He just ended the conversation with a chilling line. "This is just the beginning." And she knew he meant it. The weeks leading up to court were torture for Vanessa. She met with lawyer after lawyer, begging them to find a loophole in the prenup. Each one shook their head. "It's airtight." Their pity stung more than their words. But Vanessa refused to give up. If she couldn't win legally, she would win emotionally. She would perform. On the morning of the hearing, she dressed like victory itself. Elegant suit, pearls at her throat, her hair styled to perfection. She walked into the courtroom with confidence, chin high, her every step rehearsed. When it was her turn, she spoke like an actress delivering her best monologue. She painted a picture of sacrifice, of loyalty, of a woman who had given everything to her marriage and deserved compensation. Her voice trembled at the right moments. Her eyes glistened with carefully summoned tears. For a while, even the judge seemed to lean into her story. Then Adam's turn came. He had barely spoken a word until then, sitting in silence while she spun her narrative. But now he calmly opened his briefcase, removed a thick dossier, and handed it to the judge. The silence was deafening. The judge flipped through the pages, his brows knitting tighter with each one. Photos, emails, messages, Vanessa's affair with Marcus, documented in detail she thought impossible, every secret rendezvous, every late-night confession, every lie she had fed Adam, all there in black and white. The judge's voice cut through her panic like a blade. "Mrs. Vanessa, do you confirm your extramarital relationship with Marcus Caldwell?" The room spun. Vanessa's body shook. She tried to deny, but the evidence was overwhelming. Her voice faltered, breaking into sobs. The judge delivered the ruling swiftly. The prenuptial agreement stood untouched. Adam retained every property, the main house, the beach villa, the countryside estate, and his company. Vanessa was entitled to nothing. Worse, she had 30 days to vacate the home she once claimed as hers. Vanessa collapsed into her chair, her once perfect posture gone. She had entered the courtroom like a queen. She left as a ghost of herself. The countdown began. 30 days of humiliation. 30 days of whispers from neighbors, of friends withdrawing, of pity disguised as sympathy. Vanessa packed her life piece by piece, every item a reminder of what she had lost. On the final day, she loaded her car with suitcases and boxes. No grand farewell, no dignity left, just a quiet exit from the life she thought she had mastered. She left the keys on the table, the house echoing empty behind her. That night, Adam returned home. He walked through the quiet halls, not with joy, not with pride, but with a calm sense of closure. He had survived the storm without ever raising his voice. On his desk sat 2 envelopes, one addressed to Marcus's company, the other to Marcus's wife. Inside each, the same evidence that had destroyed Vanessa in court. The fallout came quickly. Marcus lost his job. His reputation collapsed. His wife filed for divorce, walking away from the man who had betrayed her. In weeks, Marcus was ruined, just as Vanessa was. Adam didn't gloat. He didn't brag. He simply folded the last envelope, set it aside, and poured himself a quiet glass of whiskey. His world remained intact. His house, his company, his freedom. He had lost nothing. Vanessa, meanwhile, faded into obscurity, carrying only regret. The moment she thought she held power was the moment she triggered her downfall. And Adam, calm, unshaken, deliberate, had orchestrated every step.